Hey folks, this is a video that I did not want to make. I have been refraining myself from making this video for a long time. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to get near it. But here I am making one. And I'm making in this video because I keep getting bashed constantly. And this is not so much about trying to defend myself, because anybody watching can come to whatever conclusion they want. There's always two sides to a story, and you reach whatever conclusion you want. I don't care. It's not going to bother me, because that's just the way it is. I don't have much proof. I had tons of proof. I had some proof. I had things on my iPad that I ended up deleting because I didn't have room for more of my own footage, and I ended up deleting it. But I showed many friends, people that I know. I've showed them, not many, but a few. I've shown them the footage, and I could always go back to the same place that I took that footage and do it again, and you'll see what it looks like. But I'm sure you've seen enough if you've seen my previous videos. And this is really hard. This is hard for me to do it because if you've seen my videos, I have refrained myself tremendously from saying anything. But now, somebody brought to my attention that there's another video out there bashing me. So I finally decided I'm going to open my mouth and I'm going to say something. And this is about Lidia and myself and our breakup. I broke up with Lidia. I chose to make a nice video about us and end it there. Lidia chose to make multiple videos about us, bashing me in the videos, bashing me in the comments, bashing me on her second channel in videos and comments. And all this time I've refrained myself and I kept silent. Again, I'm going to repeat, many of you are going to watch, are not going to believe me, and I don't care. I just want to say my side of the story, which I've kept silent all this time. So, in this video that was brought to my attention that Lidia has, bashing me, saying that I didn't write anything down, I just watched it briefly. One of the things that she says is that I lied. I was still married when I was dating her, which is not true. I showed her my divorce certificate numerous times, at least twice. I showed her the certificate right there on the certificate, and I have a copy right here in my hand that I have the real certificate over here in my van. I took a copy. I'll put it right here on the screen, and it clearly shows that the divorce was finally finalized in court on August 12th, 2016. When I went down to Florida to meet Lidia, it was November or December. I think it might have been December. So by then I was already completely divorced. My divorce had actually happened earlier, much earlier, but it was being delayed to be completely finalized and signed because my ex wanted certain things, and so we had to work that out to, come to an agreement. So that's why it took months longer. But for all technical purposes, my divorce had happened months and months earlier than it was actually finalized then. So that is a lie. I was already divorced when I met Lidia. I showed her my thing. After showing it to her, she didn't believe. Oh, that was not really a divorce certificate. And I said, yes, it was. And I showed her again a second time, and now she's bashing me, saying that I was still married, which was not the case. I was divorced for months and months. Even before 2016, I was already technically divorced, but it wasn't finalized until when it was finalized on paper, signing it. But the divorce had already happened. I had been separated since 2012 from my ex-wife. Yes, I visit where she lived, but I visit, and I told Lydia many times, I visit there because of my kids. My kids live there, and I was allowed, at times, I was allowed to park in a driveway. Sometimes there was issues, and I would go park somewhere else. But when she was okay and allowed me to park in a driveway, yes, I would park in a driveway because I'd rather be there the next morning to take my kids, or be there throughout the evening if they want to come to my van and watch a movie, which we've done many times, or eat dinner. I would make dinner for them or do something else. Then I would be there for them. And I wasn't there for my ex-wife. It was done. When I filed for divorce in 2014 or wherever it was already to be finalized. I wasn't going back. So I wasn't going there to be with my ex-wife. And my kids will testify to that we had no relationship. I wouldn't even go in the house. But Lydia had in her mind that I must have some kind of relationship, which I didn't. I was there only in the driveway because of my kids. And my kids now are old enough, they're adults, and they can testify that was the case. I was not even going in their house, not even going inside. So the only place I've ever went after a certain point, after I don't know when, 2014 or 2013, was in a basement, not even in a house, and only in the basement because I had some stuff stored there. And what else did she say? She also in this video she touched about stuff that happened when we broke things off, when I broke things off, and I think she's still mad about that, but the way it happened. So the way I did it may not be the way most people do it, or some people do it. That's the way I did it, and I broke up, and I basically did it on video. I did my video. You can go back and look at it. And at the end of the video, I said my relationship with Lydia has come to an end, something to that effect. And there was a reason for that. Now, some people may do it differently. I did it that way. And here's the reason I did it that way. So we were having a great time together. Lydia came up here to visit me, and we were having a great time. I took her to New York City. I rented a car. I paid for the RV park we'd stayed at. I gave her a beautiful birthday gift. I took her to any place that she wanted to go to. So any place we went, that's where she wanted to go to. I gave her an iPhone 11 Pro, just like mine. I have that on video. I refused to put that on video when I did my video about the gift that I gave her, because that was nobody's business, and it's still nobody's business. But I gave it to her because I love Lydia and I wanted to give her something nice. So I gave her a nice gift, and I gave her a nice birthday. And then about a week later, it was my birthday in October, and we were traveling we were in Pennsylvania, and we were traveling, and she needed propane, so we had to go 10 miles north out of the way we were going south to get propane, which is fine. We went and we got propane 10 miles out of the way, and there the propane was too expensive, so she only filled one of the canisters with propane. And then while we were waiting, I'm looking at on a map on my phone, and there was a road by the river, by the Delaware River, that looked pretty nice. And I mentioned if she wanted to go there and we could do some filming with a drone, and she was fine with that. And we got there, and I got the drone in the air, and then somebody was behind us, and that ruined the whole thing, because it's a road probably not a lot of people go on, but somebody was behind us, and there was not a lot of places to pull out. So I couldn't really film much with the drone, but I did film some stuff with the drone. And then the whole thing started there. She mentioned in her video that I took her on a terrible road full of potholes, and the road was beautiful. In some sections of video, you can see that the road was beautiful. Towards the end, they had a couple little potholes, but it was a beautiful road. It was stone road, and she forgets that I had my camera footage. I have a dash camera filming front and back. I had myself filming the front, and I filmed her behind me, and the road was beautiful, and I have all that footage. The dash camera gives me the speed limit, gives me the location, gives me the date. I have all that. Don't have it anymore. I finally deleted it from my iPad. So I wish I had kept it longer. I didn't know she was going to keep bashing me. But I can still go to the same road, and if it still looks the same, you'll see exactly what it looked like. And you may be able to see it on some of her video or my video that I posted. So that was one of the things that she started complaining about in her video, that I took her on a terrible road. And then the other thing was that I sped up away from her. Well, I didn't speed up away from her either. I had my dash camera footage. We got on Route 80 going west, and she was like 1 or 2 vehicles behind me. I got on a road. The speed limit there is 50 miles an hour. I started driving, and I'm going about 45. And we had to exit at the next exit. And I'm going about 45. And I don't see her behind me. And I'm getting closer to the exit. And the road zigzags. So I can't really see much behind me, because there's a limit, a quarter of a mile or whatever, because the road zigzags back and forth, and there's hills and mountains and trees and stuff like that. And as I get closer to the exit, I start slowing down to about 40. So by the time I exited, I'm going 40. People are behind me honking, and I'm just there going 40. And I don't see Lydia. I don't know what's going on. She seems like she's getting further and further behind on purpose. That's what it seemed like to me. Maybe not, but she was nowhere to be seen. So as I approached the exit, I got on my phone and I called Lydia, and I tried to tell her that, we got to take the next exit. So as I was telling her that, she was saying something to the effect, what exit? I'm like, just take the next exit. And before I could say anything else, she hung up. So at that point, if she had stayed on the phone, I would have told her, just take the next exit and just follow the road. I'm going to be up ahead on the right side waiting for you. And then that would have been it. She takes the exit. There's only one exit from the time we got in onto the roadway. So that would be the next exit. Just take it. And then, she drives down the road a mile or half a mile, a quarter of a mile, and I'll be waiting for her. And that would be the end of the conversation. Well, she hung up the phone on me, and I called back about 20-some times, almost 30 times. And I have proof that proof I still have from Verizon that still shows the amount of calls I made on that day, at that time of day, to Lydia's phone. I called her almost 30 times, and she wouldn't pick up. And I kept calling because I didn't know she wasn't picking up on purpose. I thought maybe she lost service or something. So I kept calling her, but she just wasn't picking up on purpose. Finally, she picked up, and she was upset at me because she's saying I went too fast. I'm like, I didn't go fast. She didn't give me a chance to explain anything. She was just mad, telling me that she was back to where she was that morning, and then I told her I'm going to tell you where I'm at. So I texted her my location. So I ended up driving to Anytime Fitness. That's where we're going to go. That was a Sunday, and that was a couple days before my birthday. We were going to celebrate my birthday that Sunday. We're going to go, I had found a Red Wing, Hot Wings, or whatever it's called, this restaurant chain, I forget what it's called. Red Wings, Hot Wings, whatever it's called, and they allowed overnight parking there. So, it's my birthday. That's fine with me. We'll go there and we can park there. Before that, we can go to Anytime Fitness, take a shower, and then the next day she was going to keep driving south, and I was going to go to work, and that never happened. I did send her my location where I was at. Not that I had to, because at the time we were using, let me see if I still have it here. We were using Life 360. This is an app that allows you to follow someone that's connected to you. So anybody that connects with the same app, you send them a link and stuff, and then that person is connected with you. So wherever they are, you can see their location. So I could see where Lydia was, and she could see where I was. So all she had to do is just follow that. But I sent her the location to Anytime Fitness, and I'm waiting there outside Anytime Fitness. And then after a while, I don't know how long, 10, 15, 20 minutes later, I don't know exactly how long, I saw that she was moving. I could see where she was on the app, and I can see that she was moving, and I could see that she was coming towards me. And I was, getting a little happier because now she was coming to where I was, and, we can make up things and move on. And then I noticed she takes the exit to where I was, and now I was getting a little bit happier. And then instead of making a left turn, she made a right turn. And I'm like, she made the wrong turn. So I texted her, Lydia, if you're coming towards me, you made the wrong turn. I also left a voicemail, which she used in her video with a different meaning. But I had called to tell her that if you're coming to where I'm at, you made the wrong turn. You gotta make a left. And she never responded to that. She kept driving, and I'm left there in a parking lot of Anytime Fitness, looking at Life 360 app and seeing Lydia driving away from me. And I'm like, why doesn't she come back? I couldn't understand why she just kept on driving. And she kept on driving for about an hour and a half. She drove south, I believe. And I couldn't understand why she was doing that. And I just sat there in the parking lot for 30, 45 minutes, an hour, watching Lydia drive away from me. And I'm like, why is she driving away from me? And there was no answer. And I decided I was going to take a shower, and then I drove somewhere where I could stay the night and then go to work the next day. She hadn't gotten mad at me before we got on the highway. We didn't have the radios. I mean, she had offered we should take the radios, my radios that I had bought, by the way. The radios that she uses, I bought those radios. I left them at her house. She uses them as if they're hers, which is fine. I give them to her. I don't have any problem with that. But she did offer the radios. We should take, and I said, no, we'll just use the phones. So that is my fault. And when we came out of that road that she says was very bad, which it wasn't, she felt like her camper shifted a little bit and stuff like that. So she wanted to check the back. She was calling me on the phone. I answered. She wanted to pull up somewhere. And I did pull up to the side, and she yelled at me that wasn't good enough. She couldn't park there. It was in front of businesses. There was a parking lot there next to the road. Perfect amount of space to quickly go in the back and check to see if there's anything loose or that moved around. She didn't like that. She yelled at me, and I said, okay, I'll go find another spot. And we moved about a mile or so down the road. There was a school on the right side. We went into school. She checked. Everything was fine. And then we moved on. And I guess she was mad at me because of that, or because she also maybe wanted to go to a park or something. But we were talking on the phone. The phone was breaking up, and I didn't understand what she was trying to tell me. So I guess if we had the radios, it would have been more understood. But there's no reason. That's not the reason you just drive off, get mad at somebody, and you drive off. You know, the way I treated her for her birthday like a princess, and then for my birthday I get treated like garbage. You know, and I get no explanation. She just drives off, and then a couple days later on a Tuesday, I still have the text here. She texts me saying if I wanted to talk about what happened, she would be willing to come back and meet me at a Walmart that we had stayed at a few days before. At that point, I felt like, what do I have to talk about? I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, if you met at me, fine, but at least tell me. I didn't feel like I did anything wrong. What I was expecting was an apology for just leaving me there on my birthday, just taking off and leaving me with no explanation, getting mad at me for no reason, and just taking off. That would have been nice if I had gotten an apology. I'm sorry, something, which I never got. And I waited the whole week for an apology, which never came. And I decided at that point that I was going to end the relationship. And I ended the relationship on video. The video, I think I did a good job. I portrayed Lydia in a good light. I didn't say anything bad about Lydia. And that's all I did. And at the end, I just said, unfortunately, our relationship has come to an end. That's all I said. I didn't want to say anything else. I didn't want to touch anything else. You know, I love Lydia, and I would do anything for Lydia. One time, I was up here already in the summertime, and I took off from work for almost a month, and I drove down to Florida, and I was there with Lydia for about 3 weeks because she was having problems with Christian, her son. And that's when I did the pavers around the side of her house, and I did some stuff there, and I was there offering support and trying to have a relationship with the kid and try to take the pressure off and make things work for them. You know, I was willing to do that. It's not a short drive. That's about 1,200 miles each way. It's about 2,500 miles round trip, especially for me being up here in Pennsylvania, or up in Pennsylvania versus in New Jersey. So when I'm over there in Pennsylvania, it's especially where my kids lived. It's a lot further than where I work in New Jersey. So, and I did that. I did that because I love Lydia, and I like Christian like my own son. So I wanted the best for them, and I did that. But there were other things that over the years, you know, it just accumulated. I'm not going to touch on them. It doesn't matter. I'm already saying more than I ever wanted to say about this relationship. I loved Lydia. I cared a lot for Lydia. I thought we were great together, but, you know, certain things, you know, you come to a point where you say, where does it end? Where does it stop? You know, maybe I should have responded to the text and maybe communicate a little bit more, which I didn't. And I at the time, I felt like I didn't do anything. What am I going to talk about if I didn't do anything wrong? What did I do wrong? At what point did I do something wrong? I didn't take her on a bad road. I didn't drive off like she said I did. I drove as slow as I possibly could without getting run over by the traffic and the trucks behind me. So what else was I supposed to do? You know, what else are you supposed to do when you are with somebody and they decide for no apparent reason to just drive off an hour and a half from where you are and not come and meet with you? And that's how I felt. She did that, and I was left there on my birthday, you know, not knowing what she was about to do. I didn't know what she was doing. She just kept driving off down south. So I, eventually I just went, took a shower, and I went to go sleep for the night because I had work the next day. And I waited the whole week. I didn't hear an apology. In fact, the only time I heard an apology from Lydia was the first time that she said something, doesn't matter what it was, and then she apologized, saying that she was wrong about something that she said. It doesn't matter what it was. It doesn't matter. It's. But that was the only time I got any apology from Lydia. Was I perfect? No, I'm not perfect. Could I do better? Yeah, I could do better. But I'm not perfect. Never claimed to be perfect. But it's things are not easy. This is something that I did not want to do, and it's hard. It's hard when you like somebody, and then the person that you like just bashes you like that for no apparent reason. Maybe just because they were mad at you because you broke up with them. I don't know. And another thing that she said was that we were broken off for like 2 months, and then I called her. She called me. I thought we were broken up about something else that happened. I thought we were broken up, and I'm like, okay, we were broken up. And then she called me and told me that she was coming for my birthday. She was coming up here, and then we started talking again. And I was happy that we were talking because I like Lydia. But take whatever with a grain of salt. I don't expect anyone to believe me. It is what it is. I'm just telling you what happened. I don't have a script. I'll say it a million different times the same way because that's what happened. But take whatever you want with a grain of salt. But it is what it is, and I think this is the first video and the last one that I'll ever do defending myself from Lydia. From this point on, I don't care what she says about me. I'm not going to defend myself. I'm just going to let it be, and hopefully we'll put this to rest. I like Lydia. I wish the best for her. I'm sure she's probably going to see this, so I wish you the best. I don't hate you. I don't feel anything towards you bad. I wish you the best in anything you do. I wish the best for your son, and that's it. I'm not going to say anything bad about Lydia, and I don't think I have. I just said the things that happened, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say anything else from now on. It doesn't matter. Maybe I shouldn't even said anything now, but I felt like maybe I should say something. But from now on, I'm not going to say anything else. I like Lydia, and I'm just going to leave it at that.